Hey, welcome everybody. Today is June 4th, 2019, and this is the Cast of Psychic Medium podcast show. Recording in Tacoma, Washington. For appointments, call 253-503-6816 and visit casthuff.com. Information is from Spirit and is from a spiritual medium and is for entertainment purposes only. This and all recordings and information I provide are copyright protected by law and the property of Cast Huff. Well, welcome everybody, and I hope you're having a fabulous new moon. Happy new moon. The new moon was yesterday, June 3rd, 2019. 12 degrees in Gemini. A sweet need for caution. I'm pretty happy because it's my birthday month. My birthday is June 18th, 1971. For all of you that are astrologers out there, you might be interested to know I was born in the 8th house. That means basically I was born with to come into knowledge of the occult and to have a deeper understanding of the shadowy self and understand many things about myself. And it pretty much explains why my day job is doing what I do. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a shamanic practitioner and healer and help people deal with their shadows. That's right. So happy new moon. Today we're going to talk about several things. Answers in dreams and prayers. Are you getting your answers? Remember that if you send information out into the universe, it's heard and responded to, but it may come back. If you are tied up, if you weren't clear, or if the timing, your energetic isn't right to receive it, it may have a delayed reaction. So when we send out our prayers and our intentions out into the universe, practice patience and divine listening and allowing. In feng shui, in the health sector, in feng shui, you want to leave space in the center of your home that's open and wide open for health. If the middle part of your house, and find the most central part of your house, often it's the kitchen. If the middle part of your house is all blocked up with energy, maybe you have things going on, piles of dishes, too much stuff going on. Where's the highway in your house? Is everybody piling stuff in one area? Make sure it's not the central health section of your home. And you can find that by looking at a Bagua map. You can easily locate that online. And you want to locate the area of your home that needs to be wide open. And you want to have about a 4-foot minimum space, 4 foot by 4 foot. The bigger, the better. Imagine a kitchen with a beautiful island that's wide open. Nothing is on it. This might be the place of health where you cook nutritious foods, where maybe you sit and have intellectual conversations. So where is the health space in your body, in your life, in your relationships, in your career? And so as we talk about sending out messages to the universe, we want to send out our requests. We want to help someone through prayer. We want to get messages in our dreams. Is your bedroom clear? Are you clear to actually receive what's coming back to you? Have you left space for when that answer comes in? Today I had a man come to my front door, and it was early, and I opened the door, and I just felt I needed to, say hi to him. I didn't know what was going on, and I knew right away he was a solicitor, and in fact, he was a real estate agent. And so I just opened the door and said, how can I help you? And he told me about himself, and I said, okay, I used to be a real estate agent. Thank you very much. And he walked away, and I stood there going, I feel like I might have missed something. I didn't leave enough room for the conversation to come up that needed to come up. I quickly dismissed because I was busy. It's morning time. And I sat there and I realized as I closed the door that I had made an error. And I said, okay. Instead of opening the door, I said, if I miss something, will you help me? Maybe I'll see him again locally at the grocery store. Or, about 3 minutes later, he came right back and he knocked on my door again. And he didn't realize that I was the same door. And I knew it was no coincidence. I instantly opened the door and I said, hey, I do know somebody that might be looking for a house. And I said, you should check with this person in the apartment. I live in an apartment. And he said, great, thanks. And then I said, and I used to be a real estate agent for many years. And I now do a lot of house clearings and blessings. And I have many real estate agents who are clients of mine. And he said, are you kidding? And I said, no. And he looked at me and his eyes were big and he said, can I get your card? And I said, you bet. And I ran and got him my card. And I said, it's not really ethical for me to do the house clearings and be a real estate agent. I knew that years ago when I was a real estate agent, I couldn't ethically clear the house and sell the house. It just didn't feel right. So I'm sure that, if you're listening and you're a real estate agent, yes, you can clear the house, but for some reason it was just off center for me. And so, guiding people to get their house cleared sometimes can be part of a real estate agent's job if they are in fact sensitive and perceive the information. And they then are guided to tell the people what they hear. They're following their guidance. And so long story short, that can be a part of real estate, having a nice, clean and clear, blessed home. And it's important whether the house feels like it's got spirits or not, just an FYI or side note, so important to bless the space when you leave it. So important. Anytime you go in or anytime you leave, that blessing is so important. And a little salt and water does wonders if there's negative energy. Okay, salt and then clearing the house, scrubbing things down. So there was no coincidence that he came back and we shared that moment, and I received some information from him and he received information from me. And there was an exchange that needed to happen. But it's because I didn't leave enough space in the conversation for that to happen the first time, that we didn't achieve what we were meant to do, And that happens sometimes in relationships. And we have relationships with houses. We have relationships with people. We have relationships with the living. And if you're psychic or you're medium, you're dealing with supernatural, you might have relationships in the spirit world. We have relationships with our conscious connection and the heavens. And so it's so important to understand, are you leaving room for health in your relationships? Because the action and reaction, your answers going out into your questions going out into the universe and your answers coming back need to have enough of a moment to let that come into your life. So maybe take some time today to think about, what are you actually asking right now? And do you actually have the space in your life to receive it? If you're in a partnership and you're asking for something, and you're maybe asking for something of your partner, does your partner have the space in their life to actually receive it, or, to hear you, to have that conversation? Are they too bogged down? Are they too busy in their everyday life? Do they need a little breather? You might be looking more right now as we're in this new moon for the space, because the message about this new moon is there is a sweet need for caution, okay? Old triggered issues, mistrust issues, times where people weren't sincere, times where people maybe now you get this lovely, weren't there for you. You get this lovely opportunity to experience your relationships from a place of building real trust. What a wonderful place to be. So when you are asking for an answer, or you are requesting something of the universe, when you are as a physical attractor of abundance, and we are here to have a physical experience, and we're here to have an essence of our true self in our physical experience, are you actually coming from the place of being slowed down enough to receive it, or are you too busy, too active to grip it? Okay? Now, here's the thing. If you are one of those people who goes all the time, and maybe you work, or you are busy, or you're a mom, whatever's going on, and if you are absolutely open enough to get messages in your dream time, and I say that because things can block our dreams, if you're open enough to get information in your dream time, let's say it's too busy or your health center is blocked in the day, but when you go to sleep at night, your health center is wide open. Your ability to receive your transmitter is open when you sleep. All of a sudden, you're going to get those answers in your dream time. Okay? So, answers in dreams and prayers is what I wanted to talk about today. So when you are going through your day-to-day, you're too busy, and you go to bed at night and you get an answer in your dreams, you have to realize that the next step in your awakening would be that you can slow down, and there's no wrong or right. This is just maybe people's patterning. And I've experienced both in my life. When you slow down, you're actually going to get the answers in your prayers, in your intentions, in your meditations, and during the daytime. And many psychic people start out going, when they start really coming into their gifts and their awakening, they're so confused why they get their messages in the dreams and why not in their day-to-day life. Well, you've got to look and see your health center in your daily life. Where is your health? Are you feeling exhausted? Did you slow down and eat lunch? Are you feeling you don't have 10 minutes to yourself? I mean, these are things that can really happen in our busy world, and making, allotments for yourself to slow down and go, okay, health is so important to me. So being empowered to receive messages through your dreams, being empowered to, send your messages out and receive them. What's fun is often as you're asking for something, praying for someone, the second that you send that message out, if there is a space for that to be received, it can happen instantly and spontaneously. So there are times when you are sending out, and when I say pray, I mean intention, so that's why I go back and forth on the words. You are sending out your prayers, you're sending out your intentions, and instantly, it is answered. And people go, what just happened? I just asked for it, and 10 seconds later it happened, or an hour later it happened, or a day later. It can be that second, that moment, because you were slowed down, you were open, and you were prepared to receive it. You were in the right attitude. Okay? So this is divine intervention and divine miracle and divine, allowing, and you are a part of that. You are actually a big, huge part of receiving that. Okay? Now, when we have a situation that is beyond us, the power of blessing and releasing that situation is so powerful. today I was praying for someone and I had a guardian come in and suggest I bless and release. I literally said, how can I possibly bless and release this situation? This person is so near and dear to me. How can I bless and release it? It didn't even seem possible in the moment. How can you bless and release a problem that is, seems so big? But I was reminded quickly that that's my ego, and that for me to think I cannot bless and release it is only blocking the blessings that are coming for that person. To even hold on to the idea that I have some power to truly help was actually ego. And it was more important for me to stand back. And yes, I helped this person, but this person needs divine help. I am expressing, a conduit of light through me as a hollow bone. I am not the source. And so when the message was stand back, really let go, because you're going to let that person handle this fully and completely themselves, see them as blessed and released and getting a very big blessing from you, from me, or you, if you're letting go of something, letting go. It's like, just let go. It's like, oh my goodness, So it was so important to hear that message today, and I just felt I should relay that because, I call it little ego bursts when we don't realize our little ego is actually activated. It's like, oh, that's an ego burst. Dang it. I didn't even catch that. So we're human, we have these situations. So the power to bless and release, when I said to the guardian that came through to me of the light, I said, how can I let go? And the minute I actually said that, because I was coming from a place of truth and heart, I let go. Just by saying, how can I let go? I let go. And I felt myself let go. So if you are experiencing something, you can send your distress signal to the universe and you will receive help. Maybe if you don't have the gift of clairaudience, you may not hear the message come through like that, but you will feel it, or you will experience it in whatever way you can, whatever your higher gift is. And so I've had a couple questions from the audience, and one of them comes in from a girl. Her first initial is H. She asked to be anonymous. She has asked me to see if there are any messages from her mother or her grandmother, and she wanted to know how they're doing. Well, I can see very clearly, I'll just say H, that your mom's energy is very high frequency, very high up in the light. You would see her as a guardian angel, a healer, and a helper. And I feel like she didn't get enough healing in life. So she's in a place of healing in heaven, and she's in a very good state. I wonder if there's a brother or a male, because I see her watching over a male as I'm looking just at your name. I feel like I'm looking to the side of you at a male. And they do show me it's fishing season. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's time to go fishing. It's time to get off the couch. Okay, I don't know what that means. The next thing I see is I look at the word grandma, and I tend to read words sometimes, is a very different frequency. Your grandmother is more present. In fact, she's demanding. Her energy is very, like it's time for you to, she's pushing you. She's pushing you. She's saying, I want to hear from you more. She's showing me visions of squirrels, which represent business and career. She's saying, be very, very matter of fact right now and get the job done. I also see there's going to be some kind of a travel. And I feel you're kind of, grandmother's showing me it's a sense like you're missing something, like I'm not on path or I'm not doing what I should be doing in life. They do show me going and doing some kind of travel journey brings you back to yourself. And they show me healing balloons. So you are going through some releasement in your mind of the way you've thought about problems or issues. That's a symbol that I see. I also see traffic jam, which is a symbol for you being really, really caught up. And I see you really questioning, am I going as far as I can? You're really, you may have dealt with something with grandfather or an older male, because grandma's showing me that you're stuck in the past dealing with something that happened, a time to remember. And she's saying last fall, there was someone you met and the jury is out on whether or not you're going to be with them. Okay, that was the message from your loved ones. So the next question that came in from someone who sent me a message by email: how do you know if you're called to be a shaman? What an excellent question. This came in from another gal who also, his name starts with H. And what an excellent question. I actually taught a class on this once because so many people wanted to know about shamanism. And I come from a very different, how can I say, I don't come from what you would call modern day shamanism teachings. There's kind of two different trains of thought on it. And so many key factors fall into place if it is your calling. Number one, the answer is in your question. You are called. It is not something you seek after or you're not seeking. You may be called in dreams or visions, and people will naturally show up. There's nothing for you to do in order to be called. The calling does not come from within. Let go of the desire to be called. If it is your calling, it will be obvious. So that's the number one. And then number two, true shamans are called many, many things. They're called through many lifetimes of training. And so true shamans are called to two things in this current lifetime. Number one, a lifetime of commitment. And it's a major commitment that's necessary. And so you'll be tested on your commitments over and over. Number two, to help people of their own tribe or a particular tribe or community. So who you heal or work with is also by assignment. It's not chosen by you. And this is not something that is, made in haste. Number three, it is a difficult commitment on some level. Shamans face many challenges, often sickness, because they have to learn how to heal themselves. They might experience all kinds of different situations because through their own knowing, being awakened within themselves, it increases their faith and their ability to help others. So I wrote let me see where it is. I wrote a poem. And it had to do with shamanism. Okay, so this came to me, and it had to do, it was actually specific to a situation, but I would love to share it with you. This is very much what it would be like. I am in the belly of the snake, and she writhes and withers. I am in the place to seek the truth about her poison. I am one with all that hath penetrated my soul. I shall not wander, for the knowing is gold. In order to be free, I must transcend. Release all that hath once destroyed me. Ascend, not die, as the light protects me. As she shakes and I am still, withers and writhes, I release her ill, I break free. So this was a poem or a story about a person who was swallowed up by a snake and was actually getting sick and needed to break free from it. And this person is actually someone who I would consider in shaman training. And so, it's an entire life of training, and we have free will, and we have, sometimes our free will can get us into places we're learning things. And so, getting back or getting clear to the place where the power to break free. We release her ill, I break free. And so the answer to this prayer or poem was anti-venom. What is the anti-venom to the sickness or the poison or the situation? How can you know the anti-venom unless you have experienced the sickness or the toxic energy and experienced releasing it and had the message come to you and the clarity to know how to listen and ascend in your consciousness to what's right, not necessarily for yourself, but for the situation. It's getting outside of that ego self and getting to the higher version of the oneness self. And so getting free. Shamanism, all in its own, the word shaman, it reflects someone who is chosen often by the community and spends their entire life in training. And so in Buddhism, they will pray about their healers, their spiritual leaders. In advance, the elders will come together in the spiritual community, and they will receive a dream or a vision, and they will actually set out and journey to find the child before they become an adult. Maybe they're infant, or maybe they're little. And so they will go and they will find, and they will do spiritual tests to see if that child is in fact the child that they feel it to be. They aren't tempted to just choose, they continue to test. And so with that, they're looking at the spiritual choice of who that person is. And it's, that happens and in different cultures and tribes. Sometimes somebody is chosen, or a child of someone who was a healer will spend their life training from their parent or training from an elder in the community. I read a story one time of a young boy who was mentally ill, and they couldn't figure out how to heal him. And there was an elder who said, well, he's a healer, he needs to go study. And they sent him into a tribal community for 7 years, and he came out mentally clear. And so, it took him 7 years of assisting and being with that, being in training. And what he did was heal himself in the end, but that, it wasn't his main, his thing was to go be an assistant and work hard and train hard. So how do you know if you're called to be a shaman? I hope I answered the question for you. Basically, it's not something you choose. It's something that chooses you. So I hope you are all doing well. I want to end today's call with a little bit of healing energy. I know a lot of people are experiencing some draining energy right now, a need for energetic support right now. And so I had a prayer come to me from Archangel Gabriel, and I would just invite you to breathe and relax and allow yourself to come into a nice, gentle, energy. Imagine yourself right now sitting in a temple of light, a beautiful place of healed energy, where you are able to just be. Allow yourself to feel your feet as there is light surrounding your feet. And breathe and relax. And allow a green healing light to come in through the top of the temple and pour down on you, allowing your body to be filled with the holy light and energy of purification and healing. We send positive energy into your body that is highest and best for you according to your soul and creator. Around you, underneath you. We imagine yourself free to experience yourself. Imagine yourself like the moon As you are imagining yourself like the moon, visualize yourself up above everyone and everything else, still in the green healing light, but no longer tangled or attached. And feel yourself as the new moon, with the light pouring down on you. Maybe everyone else can only see a part of you right now, but you can see the whole parts of you. And all those parts of you are being healed. Any part of you that was ever broken, claim that you are whole. Allow yourself to be whole. See yourself as a healed and whole individual. And from that place of health, feel your vibrating higher self and all that is available, all that you are capable of doing. Maybe it's to rest or play, grieve. Maybe it's to be very busy. Whatever it is for you, starting something wonderful or holding a contract that serves you and pouring your heart into it. Allow yourself to feel the energy for whatever you need for healing. Imagine yourself now with the harvest. See yourself in the belly of this light. See yourself now as capable of feeling that you can hold a harvest that serves you. Hold the torch for freedom. Now turn around and face the south, the direction of harmony, the wonderful afternoon with the sun on you. As you feel yourself now, notice that you are putting down the torch and picking back up 3 corn stalks. 1 for faith in the harvest of your life. 2 for all that is pure and love, the infant and child within you, the internal child that was planted of faith, being renewed in its innocence. And 3 for your higher self, your godly self or spiritual self, your intimate connection with the higher source energy. Feel yourself as you are connecting to the seed, to the stalk, to the harvest. Feel that you can hold on to these things for a little while. You will want to give them as gifts. You will want to experience the joy of giving because you have received so much. Imagine the wheel turning in your life in the right direction, the one that Creator knows is best for you. Surely able to embrace life and destiny and dance. Release the robes that don't serve you, the barriers. Any time you were a baroness or baron where what you planted didn't grow, allow yourself to feel that you are holding these corn stalks now, able to have a genuine harvest in your life. Feel that you are able to have the fruit, able to have the good of all that serves you. See yourself fully capable and restored. Breathe and relax. And now feel the gold glow around you. You're now on the earth, not up in the moon. And you're able to feel complete and whole. Thank you. So that was a part of a meditation that came through. Kind of did that special for you today. I hope you are all doing well and have a wonderful new moon. This is a time of sweetness. This is a time of holding the harvest. This is a time of caution, allowing yourself to be open. As in my life, when the door opens, let what needs to come through have a place for what is good. Leave room for health in your life. That's the main message for today. Anyway, much love and blessings, and I hope you are well. Happy new moon. Take care.